Okay, so now you've gotten your paper or your grid, doesn't matter, whatever you want. Let's look at number 8, which is 116, and I'm going to go ahead and write it vertically, okay? Might as well, because this is the way you're going to write it, so you might as well do that. So what can we say 116 is closest to or about? Something's $116, it's about what? Again, thinking about using your zeros. You can do one of two things would be first thing on my mind. In your head, you can whisper it since you're beside someone listening to me. So in your head, or whispering it, what do you think 116 is closest to, or should be quickly estimated to? Okay, great. 100, or I would even think 110. Still a zeros. Again, I think ones and zeros and fives are the easiest ones to multiply by. And then again, we would use the other factor and leave that one the same. Okay? Zeros off, leaving me with 300. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1, 3 times 1. Pretty simple. Okay? As far as just doing that. Now, going back to the more, the true one, the true multiplication is this one right here, because it does say on your instructions, it says estimate, because that's one statement, then find the product. So you should have two answers for this. So 300, so this is 6 times 3 is 18, carry my 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so now as far as your paper is going to look like this, 116 times 3. Okay, so you're like, how do I write my answer? I would write one of them as 348, and then your other one can be your estimating. And one of those is absolutely fine. So if you want to do 300, that's fine. So again, that's showing your estimating, and then that's showing your actual answer. So when you're looking at it like that, because there is very, very, very little room. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at number 9. So you've got 338 times 4. Okay, so 338 times 4. All right? Okay, so I'm going to write it vertically. 338 times 4. What could I round 338 closest to? Thinking if you were to truly round it to the nearest 100, I would look at my neighbor, and that 3 is going to make this 3 do what? It would stay the same. So we could round it to 300, and this other factor will remain the same. So leaving me with 3 times 4 is 12, adding my 2 zeros. So my estimate right underneath there is $1,200. I say $200, rounding, or excuse me, estimating 1,200. Next one is the actual answer. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry my 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 more is 13. So my actual answer is 1,352, where my estimate is 1,200. Okay. Now, another thing you could have done over here is an estimate, just quickly rounding that. That's 0, 12, 13. Of course, that is closer to your actual answer, but you also noticing I'm only 8 away, whereas I'm 38 away here. And so that's why your answer, because you're doing that 38 times 4. I'm 38 times 4 less than what this is, because I took 38 away from my actual answer, whereas I only take 8 away. Okay? Because if you think about it, I took 8 away. 8 times 4 is 32. I add it to my sum, and that is the actual answer. So again, I'm 38 away here, and I'm doing it 4 times. It is going to get away from here. Get away from your actual answer. Okay? All right, so I'm going to, give me a second, I'm going to project. Let's go ahead and look at page 58. So open your packet and look at 58. We're going to do just those few problems together. And we're going to look at those. Sorry, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. So looking at 38, question 21. I want you to read along as I'm reading it. Okay, it says a minivan weighs 4,275 pounds. I'm sorry. You would need 6 minivans to balance 2 elephants on a balance, which could be a combined weight of the 2 elephants. Okay? So a minivan, this is a minivan. You would need 6 of those minivans to balance 2 elephants. So this is an elephant. Oh, elephant. Elephant. Big ears. Big ears. Okay? So which could be combined weight of the 2 elephants? I already know these are 2 elephants. This one right here is 4,275 pounds. So this means this minivan is 4,275 pounds, and this minivan is 4,275 pounds. You get my drift. Okay? Now, is this saying which could be about? No, it doesn't. Please look at your answer choices. Those are pretty similar. There's not a lot of zeros there. Whereas if you just look down here, right here, quite a bit of zeros. Here, there's not. So this is going to be an actual answer. So what are you going to do? I could add 4,275 plus 4,275 plus 4,275 plus 4,275, so on and so on. Or, what is another way of repeated addition? And that's multiplication. So I do 4,275 times 6, 5 times 6, 30. 6 times 7 is 42, 43, 44, 45. Carry my 4. It's 12, 16, 1, 2, 3. Combine it, 25,000. Ooh, look at Miss White, going too fast. 25,650 pounds. Okay? All right. Number 22, it says a small sports arena can hold 274 people. I just like to write. The area has 7 sections. How many? So it says estimate and then give the exact total. So with my multiplication, obviously I'm going to multiply. So what can we say that 274 is closest to? Again, if you're looking at your hundreds, your 7 is going to make your 2. Move up to a 3, so we can say about 300 times 7. Knock off my zeros. What's 3 times 7? 21. Okay, so this one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. Okay, so, but if I did 1,400, they must have multiplied it by 200. But if you really look at that 7 is going to determine, you know what, it's really closer. If I'm at 200, let's even say you're at 275, it's way closer than 200, it's closer to 300. Okay, so you may say $2.75 is closest to $3. So then you do your actual multiplication. 7 times 4 is 28, carry my 2. 7 times 7 is 49, 50, 51, carry my 5. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 5 more is 19. 19, 18. Okay? Alright. So, what I want you to do is you are going to end up turning your paper over, and of course you're going to end up ripping it. Yes, I know, you're going to end up ripping it. Alright? So you're going to work through this. Again, please pay attention. This is the unknown number that we just did. Okay? Some of this is going to be trial and error. Okay? Then let's look at 7 through 12. You're estimating and then product. So I should have 2 answers on each of these. 2 answers on each of these because you're estimating and then you're going to find the product. Okay? So then you're going to have these 2 word problems that you're going to do as well, along with the 6 on the back. Okay? Please make sure this is giving estimate. Looking at these numbers, says how much. I would say that's going to be an actual answer. Okay? This is going to be actual multiplication. Please make sure you're taking your time. I should absolutely see work on here, or I should see work on your notebook paper or grid paper. If you use notebook paper or grid paper, I want it attached so I can see what you're doing wrong. When this is done, you can turn it in.